Not at ISTE crowd. I'm Katie Fielding, the head of creative and content here at Cami. And I'm so excited for you to see this Not at ISTE booth session from Destiny Wagner with Ed Tech Nerds. So let's bring her on. Hey,
Hi,
Destiny, how are you doing today?
you're doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're so glad you're here and willing to share your knowledge and information and love a book creator with our Not at ISTE crew. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass it right to you. Here is
Okay,
your book and take it away.
perfect. Thank you. So I absolutely love Book Creator. We use it a lot for digital portfolios. And what I love most is the simplicity that we've got two buttons up in the top right corner of the plus where you can create your items, and then the inspector where you can edit. So you'll be seeing me use those quite a bit. So with our books that speak, I wanted to talk through a couple of accessibility features with you. But before we do that, if you wanted to play along with some of the features that I'll be talking about, I created a separate book for you. So you're welcome to scan that QR code. If you're using a mobile device, when you scan the code, it will say, give you the option to remix to your library, and then you can sign into Book Creator and follow along from there if you would like. All right, so taking you through our agenda in this super quick session, go through a couple of templates and collaboration, digital portfolios, and then I'll dive deep into those accessibility features and show you some of my favorites. All right, with templates and collaboration, you can create your own, or you can choose from pre-made templates. So if you created your own, you're allowed to share that out. But I wanted to show you why or where you can get those pre-made templates. One of the advantages doing that before I show you how you can get those is that having a template allows you for some scaffolding. You can do those in different subjects or age groups, and they really save teachers time. I do like that it simplifies the grading process for teachers because you have that jumping off point for your students. But on the flip side, it allows for that creativity for the students to put in, their own spin and their personality on into your assignments. And if you're following along and you have a link, it's also on the very first page. Maybe Katie can share that out when we're done at the end. If you want this actual book, then I linked for you how you can make a copy of a teacher's template book and work on it. But as far as finding those, you can start with a pre-made theme for your entire book. So I'm going to move out of this particular one real quick and then show you when you create new book in the upper right corner, you have this option for themes. And look at all of these. So these are pre-made templates done for you. It just kind of gives you that starting point. If you're anything like me and staring at a white screen kind of gives you a little bit of anxiety, this is a really great place to start. So again, just new book and click on themes. And then you've got tons of options to choose from. And then getting back into our book, let's say I just wanted to add a template for one page. I can go up here to the plus, add an item icon, click on media, and then templates. And from here, you have the option to search. There are so many to choose from. You've got a lot of drop downs in the graphic organizers. If you're going to use digital portfolios, you can just choose from simple layouts. You kind of get the idea. I just wanted you to know where that lives. So if you wanted to do one page at a time, you are allowed to have those pre-made pages for you. So that kind of helps with having templates and letting your students collaborate on those books. All right. Another feature that I really like about Book Creator is the digital portfolios. And if I'm not mistaken, unless things have changed, the last time I checked, students can have their books follow them from year to year, but this requires that your school have a site-wide license. So just that little tiny caveat if that's something you're planning on doing. But students can add books from their class to their library with teacher permission. They're owned by the student, but they're monitored by the teacher. And I really like Book Creator for this aspect because once a student leaves their school and they have that portfolio with them of a lot of different books that they've created in Book Creator, they can share that with college admissions or with future employers and really show off their personality and their creativity in a lot of different areas. So again, there's like a link for you down at the bottom to learn more about student portfolios if that's something that your school is going to have. And then now we get to dive into our accessibility features that I really like. So I'm starting out with our text to speech. And for this one, this is really important for your visually impaired learners, or it's great support for your language learners. So if you wanted to have that text to speech option, that way they can listen to this text that's on the screen, then you're able to do that. So a couple of ways, I'm just going to take you through one. If I click the play button up here in the right corner, that's going to allow me to go into read mode for this book. We were in edit mode before. And when I click read with me, I'm going to pause for a minute and let you hear this.
Text to speech, blinking digital marketing sticker by Mtarget, idea creativity sticker by Salvador Padilla, vitally important.
Okay, we won't go through the whole page, but I wanted you to hear what's actually happening. And then hopefully you also noticed that the words were highlighted as the book was read to you. So if you wanted to change some of those features, and I'm in that read to me mode, I can go up here to my settings, and then you have this toggle button for highlighting the words on and off. You can have the words read to you, so it gives you that option that you just heard that audio. And then you can select your voice as well. You also can change the speed down here for that reading speed if that needs to be adjusted. I did put a little note down there on the screen for you. If you wanted your text to speech to be read back to you in a different language, you will need to translate the book first into that other language. So for example, this book is in English, and if I wanted to select my voice to be Italian and I clicked read to me, it's still going to read the book in English, but with a heavy Italian accent. So just be mindful if you actually do want that translated, you'll have to take that extra step first. Now, alternatively, from text to speech, now we have speech to text. And this one, if I click on my plus button and I say, choose a text box, I have a little microphone up here in the corner. Hi, welcome to ISTE. I'm happy to see you. So you can see that it didn't quite get those letters correct. So I do have the option to edit my text if you need to do that. You can also translate in here as well and translate your text if you needed that feature. I can click done, that will appear on the screen. If you do choose to translate, you've got 120 languages to choose from. It might be more by now, but that's the last time I checked. And then again, if I wanted to change the font or the color, anything like that, I can click on that text box, or I can click on my inspector button up here in the corner. I did choose for the font on the page to be Open Dyslexic. I did want to point that out because that's a great font if you have dyslexic learners in your class. So choosing that Open Dyslexic font, I'm really glad that Book Creator has that in their features as well. I'm going to go ahead and delete that text box, maybe. We'll just cancel that out. If I wanted to add an image, I can search for images as well via that speech to text feature. Black cat. And I hit enter, and then it's going to search for some black cats. I chose that because my cat just turned 16 this week, so I was giving her a little shout out. All right. So speaking of those images, you do have the option to upload your own. And we did show that when I use that add feature button and I click on images, I can do the speech to text. Here's where you have your upload button from your computer, or I can simply type in and search for an image. Now, one of the things that's really cool is Book Creator uses Pixabay images, which are free to use and modify. So it has that correct usage, and you don't have to worry about using images that aren't approved. So all of that's taken care of for you. And then you can add alt text to your images or your auto drawings as well. So let's say that I did choose the black cat. And let's just pick one over here. Let's say she's playing, and we'll add that one. If I highlight that image and I go over here to my inspector, I have this option to add an image description. So I can say black cat playing with toy. And then that will be there for you as well. I'm going to delete my image and get that out of the way. You also have some icons that you can do as well. So I'm going to jump to the noun project and show you what that looks like. If I click on the plus button and then go to media and go down here to icons, let's just say I pick a dog for this first one. I go ahead and click and I add that in. One of the nice things about adding icons directly from within Book Creator is that if I click on that inspector, the alt text for those image descriptions are already done for you. Let me delete that and get it out of the way. And then my last favorite tip for adding images is our auto draw pen. So clicking on that plus button, if I go down here to pen, there's one at the bottom called auto, and this is our auto draw. So let's say I start drawing. So I'm trying to draw a circle with a mouse. I'm not that great, but you'll see up here at the top, a lot of circles are going to start to appear, and it is guessing what you're drawing. So as I continue to draw, you'll see images pop up. And yes, I'm trying to draw a baseball. So let me click on that. And boom, the image that you're not great at with drawing with a mouse is automatically inserted for you. That is one of my favorite features that I can use, especially if you wanted to create your own icons. That's a really, really great handy tool. So remember that that comes from your plus sign and your pen, and you select the auto draw tool. Okay, with our video, you can auto-generate captions for your video. So let me add a video real quick and show that one to you. So I click my plus button, I'm clicking on camera, and I will record a video. I get a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Hello, not at ISTE crowd. How are we doing today? And I stop that video. It takes a moment for it to render. So while I'm doing that, I do want to use that video. And I probably should have had that. Oh, the internet gods are kind to us today. Look at that. So my video is here. Once I highlight that, I can click on the inspector, and I have this option to add captions. So once I do, let's generate automatically. I'm going to leave that as English. It might take a little bit of time for those captions to generate, but when they do, those captions are fully editable. And then again, you do have the option to change the text. So again, it really does not like the word ISTE. So I will change that in, and I am able to edit that. Let me click done. So now when I play, hello, not at ISTE crowd. How are we doing today? So with that, I can come over here to my inspector and add a translation as well. So let's say I wanted to do that in Spanish. Notice how there's a check mark next to English. I have a check mark. I can click my skinny snowman over here and set Spanish as my default. Now let's watch what happens. Hello, not at ISTE crowd. How are we doing today? So those captions are translated for you. So that is a really, really great feature, especially for your multi-language learners. So next, we have adding audio or creating transcript from an audio. So from my inspector, I will click the record button down here. And this is where I record my audio. Start recording. 3, 2, 1 countdown again. Hello, Cami and Book Creator family. I hope you're having a great day. I click stop recording. I will use that recording, and then you'll see this little speech icon show up right here. I'm going to move it to the top so it's a little bit more visible on that blue background. I like the color contrast. When I click my inspector button, I do have the option to add a transcript as well. I'm going to go ahead and generate that automatically and use English. And you'll notice that once I have added that transcript, you get that tiny little speech bubble in the corner of your audio button. And so that lets me know that it's got a transcript available. And then you can make that speech icon invisible in your inspector. So I don't know if you can see this one in the top orange corner here. If I go to that play my book button, notice that one disappears, but when I hover over it, what should I talk about? So it is there, but it is hidden, so you don't actually see that icon. If I do the one that I created today, again, that icon appears. I've got the transcript button. Hello, Cami and book creator family. I hope you're having a great day. So that lets you know that those audio files are available to you. I hope that was helpful. I know it was a super quick run through on some of the favorite accessibility features I have for Book Creator, but I've included a lot of resources for you. I have been at an ISTE playground and we had a little video loop that played, and then I've presented a little bit longer and more in depth on these same resources with Book Creator. So if you click on that drum and you have the actual book file, then you are able to grab that presentation as well. So let me put the other screen back on the board. To get the presentation today, it is the lower left corner. I have my ISTE booth demo. I know that's a little bit small. Hopefully you can zoom that in on your screen, and that will give you today's presentation. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. And thank you very much, Katie, for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Destiny. And if you're watching this video, you're watching it from the booth book, and you will see her book also on this same page. So you'll be able to access everything that she shared right here. Thank you so much again for joining us, Destiny. We really appreciate it. And you sharing all of your knowledge on how to make sure that classrooms and book creators is accessible to all students.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.